Hello, now we're on lesson 6 of our Build a Vision Board book series. So now we've already used AI to create an exact detailed plan, a framework for our winning, best-selling vision board book. We've thought about and ChatGPT has helped us to think about how can we differentiate our book from the rest of the books in the market? Why are people going to choose our book over their books? So we've already got that plan. We've got the framework. We copied and pasted it into a document. We've gone through that document with a fine-tooth comb to make sure everything is in there. And we've even added in the things that we picked out from the book reviews of our competitor books. What did people love about them? What did they feel that was missing from them? We can't please everybody, obviously. And the big thing was the quality of the paper and the matte images. So I suggested that we actually flip that on its head and market it as special matte images so that it doesn't reflect light, and actually turn that negative that people had said about other books and try and turn it into a positive, but make it very clear from the description so people are not surprised when they see your book and it's all matte images. We can't create glossy images, unfortunately, on Amazon KDP. I don't think it is an option. Okay, so in this video, we are going to set up our file. A lot of people might be doing this training as your first book here in the Book Boss Academy. So this might be your first ever book. You might not have done the other modules like the book camp or the 24-hour book or anything like that. You might not have created a prompted journal or even a blank journal. Is probably a good book for you to start off with, nice and easy, so that you can go through the publishing process. But we're going to go over to canva.com. If you haven't got an account, you can get a free account on Canva. That's canva.com. And we're going to use Canva to actually create our file for our vision board book. So all of those photos and those clip art and those images and those words, those writing, the phrases, if you're going to do, I don't know, a plane ticket or a birth certificate or design any of those elements, it's all going to go into a Canva file. You can use other publishing tools like Affinity Publisher, Adobe, other publishing tools. I use Canva because I've been using it for 15 years. It's simple, it's easy to work out, it's easy to use. And I think a lot of the others do have quite a big learning curve. So if you're not sure, just use Canva. And we're going to set up our file. Now, having looked at all the vision board books on Amazon, Amazon KDP is restricted to the sizes that you can use. You can only use the sizes that Amazon KDP actually has available. So we want to use a size 11.5 by 8. Oh no, 8.5 by 11 inches. That's it. 8.5 by 11 inches is the size. You can go onto, Amazon KDP and look at the different sizes of books if you wanted to create a different size book. But I can't imagine that you're going to want that because we've gone for the largest size book so we can fit more images and more elements on each page. It's going to be the most cost-effective size. All the best sellers are this size. So why would we create one that is a different size unless there's a benefit to it? Now, some people said they wanted vision board clip art for their planners. So they might have a small planner. I'm just trying to see if I've got one on my desk here. No, I've not. But they're kind of this size. Some people have a planner of that size and they might want vision board clip art images and things to go inside their planner. That would be a different book. And in that case, it might be a different size book that you want to create something a bit smaller with smaller images and photos so that they can cut them out and stick them inside their planner. But that would need to be reflected in the title. So you would have vision board clip art book for planners, and you can make 4 planners like really big so people know it's a small book and it's specifically for planners. Anyway, I'm going off on a tangent, but just so that you know, you could potentially do that and create that smaller size. We're going 8.5 by 11. We're going to canva.com, set up a free account. I have a paid account for Canva. I use Canva Pro because I've got access to better elements, better apps. I can remove the background of images. It is the one business tool. Yeah, I've got Zoom as well. So the two business tools, Canva and Zoom, are my two non-negotiable business tools. You don't need Zoom to be a book boss, but I really think you do need Canva. And also I would recommend that you get ChatGPT, the paid version of that, just so that you don't get stopped from creating, because if you've got the free version, it will just stop you. Okay, so I'm going to share my screen and we're going to set up our file in Canva. So go over to Canva, canva.com, and go to custom size. Here on units, you're going to slip up if you don't change the units here. We want to change it to inches. And then, oh, it's cropped up here anyway, because it's a popular one that I use. 8.5 by 11 inches, and create a new design. And this is where I'm going to add a heading to all of my pages so that I know where I'm up to according to my framework. So what I want you to do is either print your framework out, print it out from ChatGPT so you know the structure and the framework that you've got in your plan, or have your framework open like on your phone or on an iPad or something next to you, or you've got like a mini laptop or something. Have it next to you so that you're planning the structure of your book. First of all, if you can see the structure in this whole file, it'll actually make you compiling and composing your vision board book so much easier. What I did in my first one, because I've already done a vision board book a few weeks ago, and I got myself into knots because I hadn't planned the file. So I'm really glad I did that and did it wrong and got myself into knots so that I can show you now how not to get yourself into knots, ironically. So we've got this blank page. So I'm going to go to text and I'm going to go to add a heading. And I'm going to make the heading I'll put that in the center, kind of in the middle. And then I'm going to go down here to these three dots and go duplicate page. And I'm going to go duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page. Now I'm duplicating the pages with a heading at the top. Don't duplicate page by adding this one because it will be blank and it will take you ages to add the writing at the top. I want basically probably 200 pages. So it's going to take you a while to do this. And there might be a quicker way. You might be able to, I don't know, copy 20 pages and duplicate 20. Somebody in the Book Boss Academy might have a little bit of a quicker way to do this. And I'm not going to do all 200 right now. Let's do, I don't know, 30. Because you can build it and grow it as you go along, and that's what I did with my second one. So we're just creating the file in this lesson. Super important so that you know what you're doing and where you're up to. I'll do about 30 so that you're not here all day watching me duplicate pages. I joined Book Boss and I was there for 2 hours watching Abby duplicate pages. Abby said you only need 2 hours a week. Oh, make myself laugh. Right, so I've got 30 pages there, so you can get an idea of what I'm doing. And um I've got the structure and the plan open up next to me of what I want my vision board book to look like. So I'll put my caps lock on. So front cover. And we're just going to keep going like this. Title page. Copyright. Title page, copyright page. Uh, how to use this book. Happiness wheel. And there I'll go vision board book guide. And this might be 2 pages, but at the moment we just want the framework and the structure. That's going to be our front cover. The next one is the title page, the copyright page, how to use this book, vision board book guide, happiness wheel. Then New Year celebrations. Goals and aspirations. uh, if I go duplicate page, how to use this book, happiness wheel, New Year celebration. So that one is going to be blank. New Year celebrations photos, duplicate, New Year celebrations, blank, goals, aspirations, and then a blank page. I still haven't fully decided. I think people didn't like it when it was double-sided, but if I was doing a vision board, I would just look on both sides and think, well, which photo do I want to use? But I think, people were like, well, I can't use both photos. And it caused lower book reviews because they couldn't use both sides. So I think to play it safe, we're going to have a blank page or a pattern. Maybe have a pattern on every other page. I know some of our book bosses have done a page of you know, a colour pattern. Now, I don't know if that will affect your printing costs or if your printing costs are halved by having half of your book is blank pages. I will have to maybe do a test at the end of all of this training to test, are we going to save on printing costs if we don't have that patterned page? To be honest with you, I don't know the answer to that. I've never come across this issue before in the last year. So, goals and aspirations. We've got New Year celebrations, goals and aspirations, blank. Then we have got titles and words. By that, I mean like relationship, career, wealth, car. So that I know what I mean by that. Then we've got a blank page again. Um, have some mindset. I'm just referring to my plan here. General mindset. And I think I'll put the blank pages in at the end. That'll be easier, won't it? And then I'll actually just get rid of the title that says blank. General mindset. So then we've got affirmations, words, and then empowering quotes and sticky notes. And actually, we'll have 2 pages of those. And then we've got travel. And then we might have 3 pages of travel, but I'm just going to leave it at one for now. Travel quotes. And then, oh, adventure quotes. And by quotes, they might be pictures with words on, or they might be phrases or little rhymes or empowering phrases or sentences, or it might just be one word. But I just want to jog my memory that we're going to have one word on some of the pages, but we're going to have the images and the photos on other pages, and just trying to get the structure um, of the whole book here. And then we'll go with, what have we got here? Travel. Somebody said, so this is in addition to my framework. Somebody said in the reviews they wanted it to include concerts, festivals, and events, and that could potentially come into travel and adventure. So we've got travel here, then we've got adventure, and then I do think that is missing from a lot of the vision board books. So we've got festivals and events, quotes, and we might take out all the quotes. We don't need so many quotes, so we might take those out later on, and we might have extra pages for travel because there's a lot of places that people want to go, and then we could have the plane tickets, but we just want the structure here as we're doing this. So we've got travel, adventure, and then if we go nature, education, career, business, investing. Remember, we're going to have the quotes in between and the blank pages. Investing. Oh, we'll have finance, business, money, finance, investing, money, finance, investing. And it's like money manifestation, isn't it? Um, home, cozy home, family, friendships, home, hobbies. Somebody said reading was missing from a lot of the vision board books. Hobbies. Pets is missing from a lot of the books too. Love, dating, romance, engagement, weddings, funerals, just joking. We don't want funerals. Um, maybe I should put friendship. Yeah, friendships, fun, quality time, hobbies, pets, engagement. Don't know what's happened there. Um, yeah, quality time. Did I just do that? I feel like I did, but never mind. If I did, I'm going a bit mad. Oh, we want some more pages. Right, hang on. Duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page, duplicate page. So engagement, weddings, quality time, self-care, mindfulness, spirituality, relaxation, um, healthy lifestyle, training, fitness, we could have diet and weight loss. I do think it's a big one that vision boards tend to steer clear of, but it's such a big thing, isn't it? So I'm not going to shy away from that in my one. Um, hmm. So food could go on there. Food and drinks. Again, people shy away from drinks. Why? I mean, we don't want probably alcohol and drugs on our vision board. Unless you aspire to own a vineyard, which might be nice. Although if that was me, I would be eating all the grapes all day long and I would end up putting on lots of weight. Yes, grapes put on weight. Definitely for me. Where have I gone? Food and drinks. Right, what else? Food and drinks, pregnancy, and it could be surrogacy, And remember, in the weddings and the romance and everything, we want same-sex partnerships. We want older people, younger people. If this book is a broad book, we want to cater to all the people and cater to, different cultures as well, if we possibly can. Um, children, babies, kids, family. Did I already had family? I can't remember. It's here anyway. Family, beauty, style, luxury. And this video might be giving you some ideas of things that you've actually missed out in yours and think about, well, do you really want it in yours? Is it important? Um, volunteering, um, sustainability is a big one right now. And actually, we can ask ChatGPT, what are the most important things that people aspire to become or to have or to do? And we've not really got cars and vehicles. I aspire to have a camper van. Where would that go? Let's have a look. Um, goals, aspirations, blank. It might go under adventure, but I think general mindset, affirmations, words, empowering quotes, sticky notes, travel, adventure, career, business. Where's home? Money, finance, home, family. So duplicate page. So I might put here car, car, vehicle, camper van. But also, in adventure, you could get, camper van in adventure, but you might aspire to like own one as well. So that could be just, you wouldn't have the same photo in there, but you could have that little bit overlap in there. What else have I missed? I made some notes all about the reviews. So we're looking at the reviews, making sure everything is catered for. People said hobbies are missing, so we want hobbies. Have we got hobbies? Style, luxury, volunteering, beauty, family, pregnancy, food and drink, self-care, mindfulness, spirituality, relaxation, healthy lifestyle. So I'm going to put hobbies here. Hobbies very important. Um, home. Where's home? Where's home gone? Home. Then car. So at home, property, house, property. And then the next one could be home, design, and decor. You might want a new kitchen, a new bathroom. So we could have some images of those things there. Okay, I'm really happy with all of that. It's following my framework, although my framework is very much about walking people through actually creating a vision and having it actually manifest. But then in between, we want a blank page, don't we? So I'm going to leave that training as it is, where it is. But all I would do now is add a blank page in between all of the other pages, and also add a quotes and words page to each category. So general mindset and then general mindset quotes and words. And then where have we got? Travel, travel, and then the next one would be travel quotes, words, phrases, clip art, adventure. Then the next one would be adventure quotes, words, phrases, clip art, festivals and events, words and clip art. Yeah. Add a word, add a heading. So we'll just say that is blank. So I just need to add the quotes, words, and phrases after each category. Some of the categories might have one, two, or even three pages to them. And then the quotes, the words and phrases at the end of that. And then a blank page in between every page. I want blank, then that, blank, that, blank, quotes and words and phrases, blank, category, blank, quotes and words and phrases, blank, category, blank, quotes and words and phrases, and then hopefully we're going to go up past 100 pages by the time. So there we've got 57, so we're going to easily reach sort of 120 pages then. And then we'll have some more writing maybe at the end. They've got a lot of writing, like almost newspaper headline style, at the back, which I think is a good idea. And then we can decide which categories need to be larger. So like the mindfulness and relaxation one, we can keep as one page probably. But travel, for example, is a huge one, isn't it? Adventure, sightseeing, things like that. family. Some of these are really, in friendships are going to be, hobbies is going to be a big one, isn't it? Of a few pages. So we're going to add some more pages to those ones that we know are going to be bigger. And then we can see how many pages we've got. And we can see, okay, we're not going over our page count. You want to also look at Amazon to see how many pages of all these books got. They're not silly. They're going to be making the most money and the most income with the least number of pages and keeping that printing cost down, trying to keep the customers happy and put lots of elements on the pages. So have a look at how many pages the top selling books have got. There's also some of them that are saying that they've got 1,000 elements. I think that's a really great selling point, whereas these ones that are in the bestseller category have got 600. If you can fit 1,000 elements and you can still keep it within the page count, then great, do that. But if it sends you over the limit and you start to pay too much for your printing costs, then it's not going to be viable. Let's have a look at this one. So this is 21.95 and it's got 1,200 images. Um, it looks like a hardback book. And I can't even see the price of it anywhere. Where's the price? This item cannot be shipped. Can't even see the price of it. Anyway, it doesn't matter. But I just wanted to show you that this one says it's got 1,200 images. How many pages has it got? Let's have a look down here. Planners with purpose. A plus content. Vision board. Hmm. Can't actually see how many pages that's got. Not to worry, but you can usually click into them, especially if it's an Amazon KDP book like this one. This is the bestseller. 75 pages. That is not big at all, is it? I didn't buy that one. But 75 pages. This one I've got is, I'll have to count them. They've not got page numbers on. In fact, don't need to count them, do I? I can just go vote to vision board book. So I don't need to count them. 98 pages. That bestseller's got 72 pages. And this one I've bought here has got 98 pages. This feels still quite thin. I think 72 pages is not enough. I don't know if it's counted both sides. I'll have to check. I think it has. Well, it's all about like that is a page, isn't it? When we hold it there, that is one page. So basically, yeah, this has got 98. The other one has got 72. So we want to be looking at ideally under 100 pages and then see what happens when you try to publish. If you go to 110 pages, 120 pages, what then happens to the price point of your book? Because we do want to keep your book priced competitively, especially against those bestsellers. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So we've set up our file. We've aligned the pages with that framework that ChatGPT came up for us and the plan so that we don't get our knickers into a twist, which I did, downloading loads and loads of photos and not really knowing where to put them and then just ending up with random piles of photos on different pages and not really knowing where I was up to. So let's plan that structure properly, create that document as long as it takes you. Don't get annoyed. You really want to have that all set out, ready for you to create your actual book. And now we're going to go and get all the exciting stuff and the clip art and all the photos. Oh my goodness me, wait until you go down a rabbit hole with all the photos. This is the fun bit now. The fun begins.